Elon Musk SpaceX could be a serious biohazard to Mars. We all know that Elon Musk, the world's richest man and CEO of both Tesla and SpaceX, is very serious about being the first guy to set foot on Mars. Back in 2018, Musk even launched his personal Tesla car into space on top of one of his SpaceX rockets. However, scientists were quick to point out that the car was likely teeming with bacterial life, potentially posing a serious biohazard to Mars. Want to know more about the Tesla roadster that started the discussion and SpaceX's current policies regarding sending terrestrial pathogens into space? Well, stay tuned for the video. But before we begin, welcome to Elon Musk Times, the place to be for news about Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and today, SpaceX's germs on Mars. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and make sure to hit the bell icon to never miss a video. Now, let's dive right in. Let's start with a little more about the car Elon sent into space. Elon Musk is well known for pushing beyond the limits of what was once thought possible. When he started his company SpaceX and declared his interest in putting a man on Mars, everyone watched with skeptical eyes. Undeterred, the unpopular genius pulled up his sleeves and got to work. In a matter of years, SpaceX has managed to distinguish itself in the space race. Now, it has become a force to be reckoned with. Those who turned their noses at his idea back then now concede that it might actually be a reality with Musk at the wheel. In February 2018, Musk and his company blasted a rocket off to the skies. The interesting thing about this particular flight test was its tag-along. The rocket that left the SpaceX company carried with it an electric sports car. The two machines then embarked on an aimless road trip in space. The rocket, dubbed the Falcon Heavy, took off from the same launch pad that was used by NASA some 50 years ago to send men to the moon. Once Falcon Heavy took off, it became the most powerful rocket in use today. It even doubled the liftoff punch of its closest competitor. Of course, Falcon Heavy is a big, fat feather in Elon Musk's hat, not just because of SpaceX, but also because of the unusual cargo from Tesla enclosed in the rocket's protective covering. Musk put a dummy in a spacesuit dubbed Starman in the driver's seat of one of his old Tesla Roadsters. The dummy was named Starman after the David Bowie song. The Tesla vehicle took off with the rocket amid cheers of joy and shouts of excitement from both Tesla and SpaceX employees. When the protective covering of the Roadster was stripped off, viewers were treated to a first-hand view of the car circling the blue planet. In the middle of the excitement and frivolity that arose from the event, the SpaceX and Tesla chief conceded by saying, quote, "It is sort of silly and fun, but I think that silly and fun things are important. The imagery of it is something that is going to get people excited around the world," end quote. The millions of people who watched the event online reveal that he does indeed have a point. Since the car arrived in space, astronomers and astrophysicists have been busy plotting the possible course the vehicle would take over the next million years. They discovered that there is a 6% chance the vehicle returns to Earth and a 2.5% chance of a collision with Venus. Okay, so what about the car being a biohazard? When the Tesla vehicle crossed the airspace, calculations and projections began immediately. One group wondered what it could mean, and another decided to figure out all the things that could go wrong. Certain parties have major concerns that the vehicle could contaminate Mars. The scientists at Purdue University in Indiana released a statement concerning the vehicle and its captain, the infamous Starman. The scientists expressed their concerns about the car, stating that it could be carrying an enormous load of bacteria from Earth. In the event the car crashes into Mars, it could be the beginning of a disaster. While there is no concrete evidence to prove there is life on Mars, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. For all we know, there could be a thriving community on Mars filled with its own species and subspecies. If the Tesla vehicle makes a brash landing on the planet, there could be a bad reaction if the microorganisms mix. A scientist from Purdue University, Jay Milosh, said in a press release, quote, "Would Earth's organisms be better adapted to colonize Mars and contaminate it, leaving us with no idea what indigenous Mars was like? Or would they be less well adapted than Martian organisms? We have no idea. Even if SpaceX radiated the outside, the engine would be dirty. Cars aren't assembled clean. And even then, there is a big difference between clean and sterile," end quote. Many wondered if the harsh conditions of space, like the extreme temperatures, unfiltered solar radiation, and low pressure, wouldn't be enough to simply kill off the Earth bacteria on the car. A professor of aeronautics and astronautics over at Purdue University, Alina Alexenko, answered with a quote, "Not necessarily," end quote. According to her, some of the lab techniques used in the lab to freeze-dry live bacteria are quite similar to the conditions the microbes would experience in space. This means that the microbes will only experience a suspension of their normal functions until they reach a more hospitable environment. Falcon Heavy is not the first rocket to jet off to space. To ensure no earthly microorganisms contaminate space, NASA has an assigned task force that regulates such things. It is the job of the Office of Planetary Protection to ensure that no earthly spacecraft contaminates other worlds. However, the office doesn't have any jurisdiction over spacecraft in orbit. Since the Roadster was never supposed to land, it didn't have to meet the standards of the Office of Planetary Protection. This means there is no assurance that the Tesla vehicle was wiped clean of bacteria and other microorganisms before it took off. The amount of bacteria in the vehicle is a source of concern for several professors who went as far as to label the car a biothreat, or more positively, a backup copy of life on Earth. However, since there is actually very little chance the Red Roadster would actually crash into Mars, it is possible that everyone is worrying for nothing. But what if we turn the scenario around? What are the dangers posed by extraterrestrial pathogens on Earth? Just as everyone is wondering what would happen if earthly bacteria end up on Mars, there are also concerns as to what would happen if the space microbes find their way to Earth. The sci-fi movies paint the picture of a dystopian future where everyone dies in the millions as some deadly bacteria makes its way through the world. According to the movies, there's also a slim chance the microbes could transmit superpowers and we would find ourselves in an X-Men reality. However, the truth might not be as exciting. The chances that an extraterrestrial bacteria could cause havoc to people on Earth is pretty slim to none. For infection, otherwise known as pathogenesis, to occur, intimacy is required. The bacteria and microbes that live and harm humans have spent millions of years studying the human species that live on the same planet. For an infection to occur, a bunch of things have to go exactly right. These events are a result of trial and error by millions of generations of both microbes and humans. Even at that, there are millions of bacteria and other microbes on Earth, but only about 100 are deadly enough to cause any harm. Of those, less than 10% can hurt a healthy person. It might not look like it, but the pathogenesis of earthly bacteria and microbes is not easy. This drastically reduces the chances of alien bacteria having any effect on the immune system of humans. Well, that's good to know. So is Elon concerned about introducing Earth's bacterial life to Mars? As the CEO of the space company, Musk has obviously wondered if there is life outside of Earth. He then concluded that there is either life outside the planet or there is not. According to him, either side of the argument does not fill him with great enthusiasm. If there is no life outside the planet, the existence of humans are nothing short of a miracle. If there is life outside the planet, then where are they? He referred to the paradoxical question posed by Nobel Prize winner physicist Enrico Fermi, quote, "Where are the aliens?" End quote. Even in the middle of his ruminations, Musk reiterated that there is no concrete evidence to support the theory that there is life outside the planet. To conclude, the idea of a vehicle roaming about in space, transmitting information down to Earth is very interesting. The futuristic concept is a token this generation leaves to the humans to come millions of years from now. The idea of infecting Mars with earthly bacteria might be a concern, but there is nothing to prove that life does exist on Mars. The vehicle itself is not on a path to Mars, so there is also a slim chance of the planet and the vehicle coming in contact. Again, this makes worrying about earthly bacteria on the planet a moot point. So what do you guys think about terrestrial bacteria reaching Mars, or the other way around, extraterrestrial microbes reaching Earth? Please let us know in the comments below, or just leave a fist bump if you liked the video. Also, we are a brand new channel, so please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you will not miss the next video. Have the best day, and we'll see you in the next one.